Good morning. This is your morning market update for 23rd February, March 2021. Let's look at the world markets first. Kospi is down 0.07%. SGX Nifty is down 0.24%. Hang Seng is down 0.02%. Nikkei is up 0.53%. S&P 500 closed up 0.7% yesterday. Nasdaq closed up 1.23% yesterday. Gold is down 0.63% and USD INR is up 0.03%. Broadly, all the Asian indices look broadly unchanged. There's not much difference in what they were yesterday. So we can expect a very mellowed down open for the Indian exchanges as well. On the major data releases front, we have UK average earnings index and the bonus for January and the claimant count data for February. This would come around 12:30 PM. So this is broadly the unemployment data that UK gets out. Around 7:30 we have new home sales of February from US. The forecast is 875,000. The previous was 923,000. Let's look at the technicals now. Both indices remain broadly unchanged after a late rally brought some respite. Early in the morning we had a lot of sell-offs across all Asian exchanges that prompted Nifty and Sensex also to have a very decent sell-off, and then we had a late rally, a late bounce back, which has ensured that broadly both the indices remain unchanged, right? So Nifty has sustained the critical support level around 14,480, while the late rally did help both indices recover. They both have remained outside the channel, as you can see here. We suggest not entering into new positions till the general trend is realized. This is predominantly because we are seeing a double top pattern which has formed in both the exchanges. If you in both the indices, if you just see, so this double top pattern is it could result in some sell-off in the indices eventually. Bank Nifty sustained the 33,500 major support level. The uptrend and the channel bottom together make that. We expect to stay within this channel. However, given the downward slope, entry right now bears too much risk. So generally in a downtrending trend channel, you enter from the upside, not from the downside. Rising number of COVID cases and stricter lockdown norms in parts of the country remain the biggest risk in the market. Let's look at the individual indices now. For Nifty IT, we see a bounce back of sorts. We now have it around 26,035. So the previous one that we had, the previous channel that we have has now been replaced with a parallel channel, broadly speaking. So this would ensure that Nifty IT could go back to 27,000 levels. Nifty Pharma has also bounced back. It could go up till 12,400 levels. A downtrending trend channel is being formed in Nifty Pharma. If you look at Nifty Auto also saw a decent bounce back yesterday. However, later the day we had some sell-off as well. It's broadly unchanged from what it was before. For Nifty Energy, while the bounce back did happen earlier, there was a sell-off later on. This has resulted in some sell-off, and the index is now very close to the channel mid, almost at the channel mid. So we would find some support here, as well as on the downside it could come down to 18,000 levels as well. On Nifty Financial Services, tried last time to get into the trend channel. However, this was not successful, as a result of which we can see that the channel is now appears to be broken. It might come back very soon, so we need to wait and watch for that. If we see at Nifty FMCG, it has powered up like anything, and we can see it around reaching 35,000 levels in no time actually. So that would be a very good place to short the markets. However, we would ask you to wait on both ends. On the buy side, 33,000 looks like a really good level. Let's look at the breaking news of the hour now. Germany reverses reopening plans as COVID infection rate rises. US Trade Chief talks with WTO, China, climate, and first calls with counterparts. This comes on the backdrop of bad relationships between US and China. So this would be a good thing. US Treasury's Janet Yellen sees post-COVID growth, possible full employment in 2022. If you know what full employment means, This is the level that an economy ideally should reach. Beyond that, it becomes extremely inflationary in nature. So the full employment levels for US economy is roughly around 5%. So that's what the last time also they had switched to. This time again, Yellen says that we might see full employment around 2022. Oil drops in concerns of European COVID-19 issues to crimp demand. It was down almost 1% now. West sanctions China on Xinjiang issues. Beijing hits back at EU. So EU, US, everyone has now sanctioned China on these abuses. We are seeing a lot of officials who were involved in the entire Uyghur Muslim issues. They have been receiving some sanctions now on their travels to US and EU. So Beijing has hit back with similar kind of sanctions at the EU. If you look at the domestic news now, the legal drinking age has been reduced from 25 to 21 in Delhi. Manish Sisodia, the deputy CM, has announced this. The DFI, the Development Finance Institution that was set up recently by the government, it is supposed to get access to the RBI funding facility. It will get a priority access, in fact, at the RBI funding facility. SEBI eases valuation norms for AT1 bonds. This was a very big issue that had come up, and it had spiked. It had created a lot of fear in the markets. This, however, has now been changed. SEBI has eased these valuation norms after the finance ministry nudged SEBI onto this. Delhi High Court stays single judge order restraining future retail RIL deal. This caused future retail stocks to pump up yesterday. Increase COVID shield dose interval to 4 to 8 weeks. Center has told states, if you remember, COVID shield, if the doses are taken between after 8 weeks, the difference between the two doses, if that is 8 weeks, you see an increased efficiency, increased efficacy for the doses. So it increased from 70% to 90% almost. So that's why the center has asked states to do this. This is not likely to happen for Covaxin. Center likely to float request for proposal for Air India privatization. Maruti Suzuki to substantially increase vehicle prices from April. Maharashtra hotels resorts get lockdown blues as COVID-19 curbs return. The Lok Sabha has now passed the NCT bill, which will now go to the Rajya Sabha for passing. This bill defines the Delhi government basically, and the opposition has now cried foul. The powers of the LG have now been extended under this bill, which is why the opposition, especially the Aam Aadmi Party, has been really wary of the bill. No blood clot risk from COVID shield and Covaxin. A top government panel has just announced that. India to launch supercharged push for global electric vehicles players. Biotech to make 200 million doses of Russia's Sputnik 5 in India. Railtel Q3 net profit jumps 60% at 270 crores, declares interim dividend of ₹1 per share. BML disinvestment gets multiple expressions of interest. The DIPAM secretary has noted this. Loan moratorium case, the SC is to deliver the final judgment today on plea seeking waiver of interest on interest. Although this has kind of become less important now, given the government has already stepped in. Vaibhav Global Board approves subdivision of equity shares in 1:5 ratio. PAG Group invests 2,366 crores in Edelweiss Wealth Management. EOW notice to MP Agro in rupees 100 crore work allotment scam. Shriram Transport Finance Company fixes record date for second interim dividend. Indian bond market sees first negative yield quote. This has come this came on Friday. The 6.17% bond maturing in 2021 was offered at a negative yield of around 1.5%, according to traders. Now that is the first time that an emerging market has seen negative yielding bonds. So that's it from our end. As a disclaimer, we would like to say that we are not SEBI registered advisors, educators. This is an easy to understand default indicator list that we use. Different traders use different sets of indicators and analysis. Please do your own research before investing. Thanks for watching.